This is the new MINI Countryman, and you can personalise the lights on it. So let's have the lights on, please. Oh look, it's the Union Jack flag, and you can change it to this design and then this design. The designs also change at the front as well. There is this design and then that design. Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the new Countryman. I'm going to talk you around the exterior, the interior. I'm going to take it for a drive. I'll tell you what's good about it. Why is this so much fun? What's not so good about it, really gets quite jizzy. Have a look at this. And of course, I'm going to launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. MINI has completely revamped the look of the Countryman, so it just looks more modern than before. So this is the JCW, which is the top of the range sporty version, so you have things like checkered flag effect covering like all the sensors under there, which is a good idea. You've got your JCW badging and indentations here, but you know, it looks like a Countryman, a slightly quirky design compared to your everyday Volkswagen T-Rocks and all that kind of stuff. Moving down the side, alloy wheels start at 17 inches. These are 20s though. 20-inch alloy wheels on something that's called a MINI. Obviously MINIs are all about personalization and customization and looking different, and obviously you can get two-tone paints with them. And I like the new door handles. Look, they're just flush with the body and they're not awkward to use like some flush door handles are. Depending on which version you go for, you have a different graphic on here. This is the John Keeper Works badging here, just making it look a bit sporty. And then round the back we have this integrated spoiler, a distinctive, not particularly pretty rear end, but it's not ugly either. And once again, this being the sporty version, we have quad tailpipes, and MINI doesn't mess around with fakery. No, look, these are 100% genuine. I like that. Now the starting price is just under £30,000, but not for this particular one. This one is going to cost you around £45,000 with a range-topping JCW. On the inside, the Countryman is just as distinctive as the outside. You've got this fabric effect on the dash, which gives it a little bit of character. You have the toggle switches here, so that's your drive select for your reverse drive. Your engine start is a toggle switch as well, and you use this to cycle through the different driving experiences, of which there are quite a few, and you can see them displayed on this lovely new round infotainment display, which I think is, whoop, there we go, look at this, look, we've just gone to the timeless one. I think it's a lovely display, this. The graphics are very clear, sharp. I think it's kind of cool. Let's go to the go-kart one. Activate it. Woohoo, let's have some fun. Right, however, it's not perfect, so it can sometimes be a little bit laggy when you're just scrolling through, and the layout and menus and stuff are a bit confusing. Another thing that annoys me about it is this. Right, I'm driving along and I want to alter the air conditioning. I don't want to use the voice assistant, so I have to press this button, right? And I've got nothing to rest my arm on, and I have to just manage to press that when I'm driving along to operate the climate. Oh, I need the blooming engine on, don't I? But there we go. Small button to hit, and then I want to alter this fan speed. Look how small that is. Look how small those buttons are. I mean, that's just a nonsense. Too much done through the screen and not done in an easy way. Let's turn that off. I quite like the steering wheel though. It's nice and chunky, and I like this little strappy bit here. I don't know why, I just do. You can get it with one of these pop-up heads-up displays, which is handy because your speedo's like over here. But it'd be better if it was a proper heads-up display and displayed the actual imagery on the windscreen rather than this like little glass screeny thing here, which is a little bit too low. I like the fact you got the material like on the dash, on the doors here, but I don't like the door handles on the inside. They just seem a bit like, it's not ideal opening the door like that. It just feels a bit ergonomically wrong. Here's the armrest here, right? But it's just a bit too far away from your elbow. You have to like hold the wheel like that in order to be able to rest properly. Here's your other armrest, which you can move forwards and backwards. You've got some storage there, you've got your 12 volts there, you've got your USBs there, you've got some more storage under here, you've got your cup holders there, bottle holders, whatever you want to call them, more storage here. You can get the car with a wireless charging, that's where that goes. Door bins, let's just check those out for size. Big enough, that's all good. And the glove box, that's fine as well, isn't it? It's a quirky, useful interior, and it generally feels quite solid. So some of the materials are a bit scratchy, but look, everything's solid, 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 solid. Gotta say, this car feels really quite spacious in the back seats. So knee room's good. Headroom's good. What I really like is that, look at the angle here, it's like 90 degrees. So you're sitting quite away from the floor, so it's so comfy for longer journeys, and you can stretch out underneath the seat in front. Plus there's some functionality here, look at this. I can slide the seats forward if I don't need so much knee room, so I can make the boot bigger, and I can, where is it? There's a lever, where's the lever? It's there. Look, you can alter the angle of the backrest as well. Plus, check it out. You got through loading Yeah, these are three-way folding seats, which is pretty good. If you're not carrying something there, you can carry 3 people in the back, can't you? So the middle seat isn't too bad, and there's enough foot space for everyone, but with 3 people in the back, it does feel a bit tight on shoulder room, but it's not terrible. It's about what you expect for this class of car, really. When it comes to carrying child seats, well, the ISOFIX anchor points are super easy to get to. The doors open wide enough, so it's not too much of a stress to get the baby seat in. One thing that's not so good though is this. I thought the rear windows would go all the way down because of the shapes of the doors, but no, they do not. Final thing to note, we've got some USBs there, and where's my bottle? Door bins in the back, a big 2, look. Ta-da. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Countryman has a decent sized boot, and all models get an electrically operated tailgate as standard. So you've got about 450 litres of space, which is pretty decent, though if you need more space, maybe check out a BMW X1, and you can do that now by clicking on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or using your mobile phone to scan the QR code right now to watch my in-depth review of that car. Anyway, look, there is a bit of a load lip to lift stuff over, but it's not terrible. Oops. There we go. And underneath here you have some extra storage, though that 450 litres I spoke about includes this space underneath here. There's a few tie down points that you get there and hook areas there to hang stuff off. To fold down the rear seats you do have to walk around, which is a bit annoying. It's a shame you can't do it from the seat backs. Right, here we go, look. Pull the tabs, move your arm out of the way. Yeah, and when you do, they don't lie completely flat, and there is this bit of a ridge, but it's not terrible. You can still slide things to the front. I'll show you now because this is quite heavy and difficult to slide. Look, see, it does it. One thing I do want to show you though is this, which isn't so good. So you think you might be able to fit the parcel shelf under there. I have the parcel shelf over here. Look, it has a sort of like Union Jack kind of indentations on it, and it looks like it might fit. You think it could fit, and you're sort of wondering why they didn't make it fit, but it won't fit. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the new MINI Countryman. The auto hold function on this car can sometimes deactivate if you press the brake pedal too hard, so you can be relying on it to just like stop you rolling back on a hill. Then if you whack the brake a little bit too enthusiastically, it can deactivate. You don't realise that it's done that, and then you start rolling. The rear window washer seems to make more mess than it actually removes. Look, we just sprayed it a moment ago. The reason is it really gets quite jizzy. Have a look at this, go on. And have a look down here as well with the one cleaning off the reversing camera. This is a very excited car. It doesn't actually clean that much of the window itself, does it? Look, it's about half of it, just this little area here. Someone in the interiors team did not measure this quite precisely enough. Look, and you have the armrest fully forward, and then you get to lift at that. It catches. Just needed a few extra millimeters. I'm going to show you some videos of cats being frightened by cucumbers, just so you don't get bored while I illustrate just how long it takes for the sunroof blind to shut. I don't want you clicking out the video, so... Gosh, I've got a cold. That was ages. Oh, it's better. This fabric on the door and the interior looks cool, but it does mark, look, there's handprints on here. It's like, ooh, what is this? We've actually had this car at Carwow for 6 months now, so it's the hands of whoever has been driving it. Yeah, you know who you are, and you'll be watching this video because you oversee all the edits. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. You can get this car with a built-in exterior and interior camera system. You've got a dash cam in there, press this button here to access it, and then you can do manual recordings, or you can get it to auto record if you have an accident. And then there's the interior camera, so I press that. It's actually mounted up here, can you see it there? So if you have a look on the screen, you'll see me there like, hi, how you doing? And you can record video by pressing this button here, or you can do stills and selfies. So I'm going to do a selfie, press this button. Lovely. I'll probably use that once or twice if I own this car and then forget that I had it. Often I don't like to drive a car in the sportier setting because sometimes the throttle response can just seem a little bit too aggressive, or it can just use your fuel a little bit more. But sometimes you need that sudden light burst or responsiveness. And to save you having to go back into the menus and change the driving mode, you have this boost function here. All you do is pull up and hold on the downshift pedal, and it gives you a boost in performance where it just changes the throttle map and makes the car a bit more aggressive for 10 seconds. So you can be chilling, steering, want to do some quick maneuver, use the boost function, and then after 10 seconds you're back to your normal chilled self. Quite a good idea. As part of the Parking Assistant Pro, which includes bird's eye view cameras, you also get reversing assistance. So as you're driving along, oh, I got a bit worried that I was going to crash into our pedestrian there. As you're driving along, it's just remembering your last maneuvers constantly. So let's say you suddenly need to go to a stop and reverse because you're down a narrow lane, someone's coming the other way. All you have to do is then go into reverse, hit reversing assistant, and it's going to play my steering inputs in reverse as I control the throttle and the brakes. Look, and I should be able to go no-handed and drive around said pedestrian without injuring them because they are not insured. It's good indeed. Where there's a blame, there's a claim. You get ISOFIX anchor points on the front passenger seat, so you can fit a child seat here in the front next to you, which as a parent of a young child is a definite win for me. Not really a huge fan of fake engine noises being played through car speakers to enhance the sportiness. On this car, it's kind of been done quite well. So when I rev it, listen to this is what I hear inside the cabin. Can you hear those kind of pops and bangs? It's a little bit like popcorn is being cooked in the back of the car, but it's also like an exhaust popping on the overrun. However, go to the exhaust, have a listen to this, and we'll switch the mics up. It's especially noticeable if I shut the door like this, because now you're really hearing how much different it is inside the car. You even feel the vibrations from the pops. Bit childish, but I do like it. Engine choices on the Mini Countryman are a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol in the Mini Countryman C. It has 170 horsepower, it's front wheel drive automatic gearbox. Then there's two 2-litre turbo petrols. There's the S model which has 218 horsepower. Then there's this JCW with 300 horsepower. Once again, they have automatic gearboxes, but unlike the C, the JCW and the S are both all-wheel drive. Then there's the electric versions. There's the single motor version, which is front wheel drive. That has 201 horsepower. Then there's a dual motor version, which is all wheel drive. That has 302 horsepower. So the Mini Countryman is one of those cars that's kind of, you call an SUV, but it's actually just a slightly raised hatchback. But that does mean that you get a decent view forward, and the dash is quite low, so that's good. These pillars are reasonably thick, but you can look around them quite easily, so it's not too bad in terms of blind spots. You get the back windows all right as well, and there's a little kind of extra little window at the back for the corner, so you don't get a blind spot there, which is handy when you're like pulling out at junctions and things like that. The steering in the car is reasonably light and precise, plus the brakes are smooth and progressive. Just wait for this person to maneuver. Speaking of which, let's check out the turning circle in this thing. So interestingly, the standard Countryman has a turning circle of 11.2 meters. On this one, the JCW, for some reason, it's 11.6 meters. It's not quite so good. Let's see if we can make it round. Press the button to bring up the cameras. Bring up the cameras. Oh no, I've got a car coming. I think I've absolutely made a pig's ear this already. Oh no, I need to towing something. I'm just going to go for it. That was so close. The camera system's pretty good. The beeping, I kind of ignored it because I thought, based on this, I did have a few millimeters spare. This particular car has the sporty suspension because it's the JCW, and it's, well, when I'm driving around town, it's quite firm. You feel the bumps a bit. It's not terrible, but it can feel a little bit fidgety over rougher surfaces. Now, more on that in a bit. The lesser versions of the Countryman, like the normal Countryman C or S, they have softer suspension and will probably be a bit better for most people most of the time. But generally, driving around, it's all right, this car. And the automatic gearbox is pretty smooth, and unlike some VW products, it's not quite so sluggish when you put your foot down to just get away from a junction. Okay, I'm going to check out the pickup of this engine when you're doing 40 and want to join a faster road. So I'm going to accelerate to 70 miles an hour in 3, 2, 1, go. Floored it. That was only pretty quick, but whoa, that was quick. But what wasn't good was the fact that the steering wheel was squirming all over the road, and it was tramlining as it was putting the power down. It was just like not so sure about that. In terms of wind noise, a little bit of wind noise from here, a bit of road noise, not terrible. I don't think it's as quiet as an Audi Q2 though. In terms of the economy, it's doing 32 miles to the gallon, but this is the sporty hot hatch version. It's all right. One thing I do think is that these seats are a little, they don't fit my body very well. You're gonna need to try it out for yourself to see if they work for you, but they're not terrible, but I think I would find a bit of a problem with them over a longer journey. Right, let's check out if this car's any fun to drive. I'm going to change my experience for go-kart. Woohoo, eh? So that should sharpen the throttle response, add weight to the steering. Might take over the gear shifting myself using the paddles. Now we're on this bit of road here, which is bumpy. This car does feel quite fidgety, this JCW version. So I'm not entirely sure how confident I am at pushing it very hard through these corners. It always seems to be bouncing about and fidgeting and tramlining all over the place. I do think a Volkswagen T-Roc goes down the road with more composure than this Mini. What I can't fault though is that it does stay nice and flat through the bends, this thing. Considering it's got 300 horsepower, it doesn't actually feel all that quick. Maybe that's just deceiving because the noise that it plays to the speakers makes you think that it should be going faster. I don't know. Let's time it, shall we? Right, let's find out how quick this car is from 0 to 60 miles an hour using my specialist timing gear up here. Left foot on the brake, launch control activated. Little bit of wheel spin for the four-wheel drive system, but it hooked up. 5 seconds dead. Now, Mini claim 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.4, but I think it wouldn't have taken like half a second for that extra 2 miles an hour. Now, do you? So then, what's my final verdict on the new Mini Countryman? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, personally, I wouldn't go for the JCW version, but one of the other versions of the Mini Countryman, I reckon you should shortlist it. It's an interesting and quirky and reasonably practical small family SUV. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of my verdict in the comments below. Click on the video windows for some more videos and on the CarWow logo to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.